Are you Matthew Aldridge?
I'm the attorney of fact for Matthew Aldridge.
You were what?
The attorney of fact.
Attorney what?
Of fact.
Attorney of fact. And what does that mean?
You know, his authorization to do legal representation.
Are you a licensed attorney?
No, I'm simply an attorney of fact.
Okay. And does that mean you have a power of attorney? What is your name? What is your name?
All right, guys, today's court hearing is straight up crazy. We've got someone who's supposed to be Matthew Aldridge, at least that's what the court paperwork says, but the man standing at the podium? He's pretending he doesn't have a name. Instead, he calls himself the attorney of fact, which, just to be clear, isn't even a real thing in law. These so-called sovereign citizens always try to claim the court has no authority over them. But the truth is, courts have jurisdiction over anyone in their area, period. The judge clearly isn't falling for it, not even for a second, and shuts him down in the most epic way. He completely outsmarts the guy at the end. Let's break it all down.
Yes, sir.
I don't have.
You don't have a name? Pardon?
I'm the attorney of fact for the respondent mayor.
Well, let me explain to you. Only an attorney at law can stand in court and represent a criminal defendant. And to do so otherwise violates the criminal law statutes of the state of Tennessee and could land someone who attempts to represent themselves as an attorney at law in serious trouble. I understand what you're saying. I understand you're saying an attorney in fact. And what I want you to understand is that if you have a power of attorney, then you need to demonstrate that power of attorney. Do you have a legal document called a power of attorney?
No, I do not at this time.
Okay. Then you don't have any authority to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge in this court. You have no legal authority, nor do you have any authority through a legal document to represent or to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge.
Why don't the court just let me file this document?
Show it to the bailiff and he'll show it to me.
Have a copy of it.
Oh, apparently there's a copy here.
Okay, so this guy says he's the attorney of fact, and to prove it, he just hands the judge a random piece of paper. You didn't see it on screen because that part was a little slow, but the paper quoted a fake law. He claimed it gave him permission to speak on behalf of Matthew Aldridge. But for anyone wondering, real attorneys have to be licensed by the state and follow real legal procedures. You can't just print something at home and call it law. Sovereign citizens like this guy love to argue about jurisdiction, like saying they're above the law will actually work. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. The courts rely on well-established laws, not imaginary ones. And this judge, he's not here to play along with this nonsense. Honestly, is it just me, or are these sovereign citizen types popping up more lately? Or am I just unlucky to keep seeing this craziness? Let me know in the comments.
Matthew Neil Aldridge has failed to appear personally in this court for the plea day on his case, which is set for trial tomorrow. And as a result, you have no standing, sir, under what I know what you're trying to do is to try to use the sovereign citizen approach to this situation. And I'm simply telling you that you do not have the right to represent Matthew Neil Aldridge. If you are, in fact, Matthew Neil Aldridge, then you need to say so and stop this nonsense, because what you're attempting to do has no legal effect. You cannot challenge the criminal law or the jurisdiction of this court by simply filing some legal mumbo jumbo having to do with civil litigation. That has civil litigation in it. It is not a criminal case that you have cited. So it has no effect on this court regarding the criminal statutes of this court. This court is empowered under the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the state of Tennessee, and by the duly elected citizens of Cheatham County to empower and enforce the laws of the state of Tennessee. And that is what I'm going to do regarding Matthew Lynn Aldridge. Mr. Aldridge is set for today to appear in court personally on what we call our last plea day before his trial date tomorrow.
Is that an Article 3 trial?
To what?
Would that be a multiple pre-trial, a trial by jury with jury?
It would be a trial by jury, certainly it would be. But I don't know who you are. And I don't think you have any authority if you are not Matthew Lynn Aldridge to appear before this court. And you are wasting valuable time to all of these other citizens who are here today. So when I'm talking, you stop talking. No, you will when I'm finished talking. You are wasting the court's time by doing this, and I'm just simply instructing you that if you are in fact Matthew Lynn Aldridge, then this is your last day to settle your case. The trial date is set for tomorrow, and unfortunately, it will not go forward because of the fact that I have a conflict and I have to be in Stewart County on a civil matter. So we're going to assign a new trial date for Matthew Lynn Aldridge. All right. To Matthew Aldridge and the individual standing before me whose name must not be altered,
The judge in this case is handling this guy like a total pro. He stays calm the whole time, but shuts him down at every step. The man barely had time to push his weird attorney of fact stuff before the judge broke it all down piece by piece. You could tell the judge either took this one personally or has dealt with a lot of these kinds of cases before. Especially when the guy started quoting fake laws. Yeah, that's when the judge really snapped into action. I honestly laughed when the judge said he can't even say his own name. That was kind of funny. Judges usually don't show emotion like that, so it stood out. From the beginning, it was obvious the judge wasn't going to waste his time with this circus act. And honestly, this just proves how pointless and silly these kinds of stunts really are.
Mr. Aldridge, whatever this document is that you have filed is in fact invalid because it does not cite any valid criminal statute, and therefore I'm denying whatever that might be in the way of a motion. The trial date will be July 15th. The last day for Mr. Aldridge to enter a plea or go to trial will be July the 8th. July the 8th. Now, we're going to give you a card. If you are in fact Matthew Aldridge and you're just playing games with the court regarding this nonsense that you filed, then you may get this card and you may go on about your business. If you are not Matthew Aldridge, then I would suggest to you, you relay to Mr. Aldridge that he must appear on July the 8th, or a bond revocation will take place, and his case will be will take place with him in jail, incarcerated on the 15th. That's the judgment of the court. You need to take your piece of paper and go.
Sovereign citizens are truly something else. These are people who think they can just opt out of the legal system by saying they don't recognize the government. They throw around words like common law or the UCC, which is the Uniform Commercial Code, but they completely misunderstand what those actually mean. Just so we're clear, the courts follow federal, state, and local laws. These are laws that have been around for hundreds of years and are supported by the Constitution. There is no secret rule that lets you just decide the law doesn't apply to you. But somehow, these folks keep showing up in court with wild arguments, wasting everyone's time, and ending up with a criminal record. Legally, their whole sovereign citizen idea falls apart because of one key concept: jurisdiction. Courts have jurisdiction over anyone within their geographic area, no matter what fake law you try to quote. That stuff might sound smart in their little online groups, but judges have seen it all before and won't entertain it for a second. And if you're wondering, no, you can't avoid taxes or get out of a speeding ticket using these tactics. It doesn't just fail, it can actually get you in more trouble for wasting the court's time. I just don't get why they keep trying this. Do they think they're beating the system? Or is this just their weird way of rebelling? Either way, it's ridiculous, and honestly kind of sad. They're not taking down the system. They're just embarrassing themselves. Anyway guys, that's all for today's breakdown. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And tell me, what do you think about sovereign citizens? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and take care.